All right, we've got to talk about the it all goes together. The Fat Perez hole-in-one and the Bob Does Sports Donut Challenge. It's all connected together because I thought we were losing Fat Perez there for a minute. And I'll tell you a crazy story because I didn't even think it was real when I first heard about it. Crazy thing. It's a true story too. Before we get into that, I want you to know this. When it comes to moving, okay, moving your house, your location, your stuff, it's stressful. You better have a reputable moving company, a QMS, link below with the phone number just for you all. I know the owner, friends of the channel, friends of me. We played golf together. Like, it's good. So my mom got ripped off by a fly-by-night moving company and lost $7,000. And then the family had to go help her move with U-Haul. We had to rip U-Hauls from all over the country and drive her across the country. So I don't want that to happen to anybody else. AQMS, affordable quality moving and storage. Link below with the number just for friends of this channel. Give them a call. If you know somebody who's moving, they handle everything nationwide, worldwide. They'll handle everything. Whether you want to move it or you want to store it, give them a check out. I don't want you guys to get ripped off like my mother did. All right? Don't do it. Call someone who's going to take care of you every step of the way. Link below. Number below. Everything's below. Check it out. Okay, let's dive into this. So the other night, I wake up, okay? Got to start with waking up in the morning, and I'm like, there's something wrong with me. I've got problems. And I know this just in general. But this morning, the other day, I was like, I really got problems. Like, I've got to cut myself off of social media because it's affecting my dreams. Because I was like, I had a dream about Fat Perez. I dreamt about him. So I thought I dreamt about him. And then I'm like, I dreamt that the guy got a hole-in-one and he's running down the fairway and just looks all dazed and combobulated and like lit out of his mind. That's what my dream was. But then I was scrolling on social media a little bit later that day, and I'm like, wait a sec. Am I having a deja vu? Like, what's happening? And then I realized, wait, it's reality. It actually happened. And so I think what I did was I was looking at some social media on Instagram or whatever right before I went to bed the night before, and then I just put my phone down and went to bed. And I thought I was having a dream looking at it when in reality it was reality, and then I woke up thinking it was a dream and not reality, and then either way it doesn't matter, it is reality. He did get a hole-in-one and I still have problems. So either way I got problems, but the dude got a hole-in-one. So we see Fat Perez hit the hole-in-one. Now we don't have the whole story, right? We think they're probably locking it down for when their video comes out. It was the Breezy Invitational, whatever they do. I believe it's in Chicago. And they have a big tournament. And we don't know if Perez was playing in a group, or we don't have the full context. But either way, Fat Perez hits a ball, goes in the hole. And whether he was hitting it for the team on that particular hole, whether they were bouncing around playing in different groups, or whether he was actually playing with the group, we don't know. It don't matter. Dude hit it in the hole. Now, what's funny is that there's a closest to the pin marker, like 8 inches from the hole. And on that, you see the closest to the pin, and it's covered by a plastic bag, probably to keep it dry from, there might have been a light rain or mist or whatever to keep it dry. I want to know this. Did the ball ricochet off that little baggy thing and then go in the hole, or did it just hoop in the hole, or did that closest to the pin marker in any way, shape, or form influence the ball, make it go in the hole? And would that matter? Would it matter if that were the case? I mean, either way, right? The team or whoever it is gets an ace. Also, I want to know, did Fat Perez play the round of golf and ace that hole, or did he hit it in the hole just by playing a hole with that team? One hole with that team. Careful how you say it. Either way, like, what was the circumstances of which he got a hole-in-one? And does it count as a hole-in-one on your personal hole-in-one statistics, like lifelong statistics, if you're only playing certain holes that day and you show up right? Like if they're the host of an event and they play, each of them go around and play one hole with that group, and then the next group they play a different hole, and they're bouncing around group to group playing one hole with the group, just meeting everybody and having a good time. Does it count? I don't know. You tell me. Is it a personal hole? Like when somebody says, how many hole-in-ones do you have? Well, like I only count on real rounds of golf. Obviously, if you hit the one ball. If I'm playing two balls and the second ball goes in the hole, it's technically not a hole-in-one. Even if I'm playing two balls the whole round, it's not a hole-in-one because it's not legit. It's like, in my mind, it's got to be a legitimate round of golf. So you play a full round legitimately and your ball goes in the hole, that's hole-in-one. Does this count as a hole-in-one? I guess, I don't know. We got to wait till all the footage comes out and all the stuff comes out, and the jury's out. You let me know what you think. But man, I was concerned. I was concerned for my man Fat Perez, because the dude does not need to be sprinting down a 150-yard long fairway. He doesn't need to be doing wind sprints. I was genuinely concerned. He looked, just physically, the guy doesn't need to be doing wind sprints, right? He's not in, let's say, game day shape currently. No, not throwing shots, but they just did the donut challenge video recently. So he's fresh off, 8 donuts or whatever he ate and whatever. So he doesn't need to be eating all those donuts and then doing wind sprints. That wouldn't have been good for anybody. So I'm not throwing shots at him. I love Fat Perez, but be honest, he's a bigger guy. So you got to work your way up to sprinting down the fairway. Somebody should have been like, dude, get in the cart. We love you. We want to keep you around a long time because you just ate like a whole bunch of donuts. We don't want anything bad to happen. Okay. So he looked like he might have been drinking or smoking something. They were at their breezy tournament. Who knows how many cocktails were flowing or whatever else was happening. And then he aces a hole and then he's sprinting. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. Thank goodness everything's okay. He seems to be all right. I hope he didn't pull a hammy or had to, had any pains whatsoever. I want that guy to be around. He's a fun guy to watch. And I think, I speak for everybody when we say we want to be all right. So how does it go with the donut challenge? Obviously, it goes with the donut challenge because he just ate when they were in Canada, probably a week or two earlier. They're scarfing down all these donuts for the donut challenge. And when it came down to donut selection, he made the huge mistake of those dang giant apple fritters. You can't do that. You got to go small. The old fashions are the way to go. These small little guys, a lot of dough, a lot of gluten, a lot of bread. It's going to be tough, but it's easier than all the syrup and sugar and apples in the dang apple fritter, which is way bigger. So calorie count wise, Fat Perez probably had the most calories in the box, but the other guys just made better selections. And Perez didn't finish all his donuts. I think he ate 8. That's a lot of donuts. I mean, 4 of them or whatever were those fritters. So tough. People can look at that. All right. And here's the thing. You can look at those donut challenge, stuff like that, and say, man, these guys aren't going to live very long. I disagree. I think that's the secret to long life and longevity. You're like, no way. Look at them. Look, they're all kind of they're not, Joey's not in the best shape. Perez, obviously, his nickname says he's not in the best shape. Bobby looks pretty good, but you keep doing those donut challenges, you're not going to look good for very long. You better counteract that with a lot of spin classes or whatever the heck you do. But why is it longevity of life? You've seen this. Guy's 100 years old and he drinks whiskey and smokes all day. How do you live so long? I'll tell you the secret to life. This is the secret. If you smoke and drink all day because you're depressed, you're not going to live very long. It's going to be a miserable life and you're going to be down and you're going to die. That's going to happen. You're not going to live very long. But the secret to life and long life is happiness and enjoying and loving every day you get on this earth. That's ultimately the ultimate secret. Like, you got to love your life. So if you wake up and you're doing these donut challenges, you're doing these fireball challenges, you're doing whatever challenges they do, and you love what you do, and it's obvious they do, and everybody else loves it too, guess what? You can be fine. For the most part. I'm no doctor, but I've seen people, when people love life, they go a long time. Now, things happen, but for the most part, you can be all right. Enjoy what you do. Love what you do. Have a good time. Be a happy person. In the long run, it's going to be more beneficial to you than necessarily what you eat or what you drink. But if you're miserable, right? If you're eating a dozen donuts because you're depressed, you're not going to make it very long. But if you eat a dozen donuts because you're having a great time and partying and just enjoying your life, there's going to be a difference in your life. So I loved it personally. Here's what I want to see from you guys, okay? One, I want to see you do those that you got to polish off that donut jar. I thought it would be easy. A dozen donuts didn't seem like that hard. Maybe you should have got the Krispy Kremes. I don't know. Tim Hortons, who knows? Obviously, donut selection's key. I want to see you polish off. I want to see you. I was let down. I think you should have been able to knock that one out. I want to see that again. I want to see a jalapeno challenge. However you work that. I want to see you guys knock the jalapeno with. I'm going to add this. You have to do the next day kind of recap. I need to see you the next day. I need to see how you're feeling. Is it going to hurt going in or coming out? I need to see jalapeno. So those are a couple. I want to see the donut come back and the jalapeno. And there's plenty of others. Those, I didn't think it was going to be that enjoyable to watch. But man, I had a good time. You guys crushed that one. I've got to be honest. And it was cool because I watched it because I wanted to know how many donuts Fat Perez was in before the sprint. Because of the sprint hole-in-one, I had to go watch donuts to see, like, dude, what happened? Like, how close to death were you? So you can love life and still drop dead, right? Because you don't sprint is what I'm saying after the donut challenge. Dude, take a cart. Relax. Enjoy the journey up to the hole. You'll be fine. But we want to see you. We want to see you more than less. We want to see you around a long time. So, crush that video. Great job. I want to see more of that. Like I said, I want to see the jalapeno. I don't know if you've done a chicken wing, hot chicken wing. That's still kind of in the jalapeno realm. I want to see the jalapeno deal. And I want to see you redo that donut thing. And because I've eaten, just for fun, 6 donuts. So, that wasn't hard. Donuts were. Pizza maybe would be pretty awesome to get the Domino's sponsorship. I think that would be awesome. How many pies can you wolf down in 9 holes? I used to work at Domino's when I was in college to deliver pizza. So that would be my suggestion for you. You can wolf those suckers down. They make a good pie. Domino's. So Domino's, jalapeno, and redo that donut thing. Maybe a different style. Maybe Krispy Kreme. Knock that out. That'd be huge. I'm sure they sponsor you guys. So, good job, Fat Perez. Let's just keep the wind sprints to a minimum. Let me know what you guys think. But that was a lot of fun. Thanks for listening. See you next time.